This shit is miracle, lyrical rap, so real is so real. On the track, your fear is so clear when I wax satirical. Hearing your crap and dear in the moment that your career disappearing from that austere is too severe for you. My lyrics too acrobatic and automatic for you to combat or even attempt to copycat.
What's going on, YouTube? My name's Surreal. Welcome back to the channel where we keep it real. Happy New Year's to you guys. Happy new decade to you guys. It is 2020 officially. 2020 is crazy. I hope y'all had a great time last night. Happy New Year's. We're going to be checking out today. Crypt posted a video for the YouTube Rap Rewind of 2019. And this is especially important to me because I didn't really start like checking out YouTube reactors until like super late of 2018, like November-ish, like really delving deep into it. Just over a year ago, I didn't know who Crypt was. I didn't know who Scru was. I'd never heard of No Life Shack or I'm Dante and people like that, Mac Lethal. I had no clue any of these people existed at all. And I had just started getting into doing rap, like seriously doing rap myself. And that's what kind of brought me to discover these reactors. Like, I think Scru was the first channel I really got in touch with. Like, was watching videos regularly and was at all the live streams, donated a ton of money and blah, blah, blah. And I think that was back, I don't even think he had 50,000 subscribers yet. I don't think. But like that was like the beginning for me. So all of 2019 was like a big thing for me. I was putting out my own reaction videos. I was studying more about rap. I was getting to know this whole community. Right when all this crazy stuff started to happen with like the Dax beef with everybody, the Scru versus UpChurch, I think Vinjay's mumble rapper versus lyrical rapper came out this year. Quadeca dropped an album. Crypt dropped an album. Both of them charted. All kinds of crazy shit happened this year that I got to be a part of, and it was awesome for me. It was nuts. So we're gonna check just exactly all the crazy stuff I got to be not directly a part of, but as a viewer of 2019. So let's check it out.
Oh man, YouTube Rap Rewind 2019. Man. There were a lot of cool things that happened in the YouTube rap scene this year, as well as a lot of drama, some mainstream advancements, and all-around shitty scenarios altogether. But the big thing I feel like is that YouTube rap evolved from the Jake Pauls and the Rice Gums and everyone and their brother trying to make music, and some true artistry showed its face. Now, I've been taking notes this year on some of the biggest events that have happened, and of course, I'm going to miss some of these because I'm human. But these are some of the biggest events that I have written down that I feel like made some of the most impactful changes in the scene altogether. Feel free to comment down below your favorite YouTube rap memory of the year, or even comment something that I've left off. It'll help me for next year. Now, keep in mind, this is going to try to stick directly to the YouTube rap music scene, so none of the Nick Cannon, Eminem beefs or anything like that. It's all going to be based around people that use YouTube as their main source of distribution for music. Now, there will be some outliers because there was some crossovers between mainstream and YouTube rap this year, but without further ado, here we go, YouTube Rap Rewind 2019. YouTube rap was just coming off the heels of the KSI, Quadeca, Deji, Dax, Randolph, Jallo, Me situation in early December of 2018, which ties into a big backstory of a lot of the events that transpired throughout 2019. It's how I developed a friendship with Quadeca, and it's also where I met Dax. After some conversation and planning combined with the support from Scru, we put together what I personally feel like was the first big event of YouTube rap 2019.
I remember that the Four Horsemen was like one of the first big collab things as I was coming in to the community. I remember the Four Horsemen was like a big thing because it was Crypt, Quadeca, Scru, and Dax. Dax being like the big hitter artist at the time. And even like not deeply knowing any of these people at the time, I could already tell that like Dax really just kind of like half-assed his verse, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? When I had like the first couple times I had listened to it, I was like, what the fuck? But I remember that it was such a cool video, and I was like, I don't want to be stuck to YouTube. I don't think anybody does, but that video was so cool. I want to do something like that at some point soon. So, yeah.
Four Horsemen was released on January 22nd, 2019, and currently has over 3 million views. Although it's not the most viewed video on this list, and there are songs that were made this year that surpassed this in views, this video was the base for a lot of what happened this year. Long story short, without igniting a fuse from the past, a certain individual on the song dissed everybody else on the song, lied about liking and supporting the song, and spoke poorly of everybody else on the song behind their back, as well as a plethora of other negative things that inspired events in the future to transpire. 3 days later, on January 25th, Quadeca would drop War featuring Dax and announce the release of his new album coming in March. It was at this
I have this song on my Spotify playlist, and I'll listen to it all the way up until the Dax verse, and then like as soon as the Dax verse starts, I'm like, yep, cool, next song.
Point that it felt like YouTube rappers were being taken more seriously and dropping actual music rather than just parody songs and diss tracks. Moving on to February, on the 1st, Screwface John would drop Dream Chasers featuring Dax.
Yup. This was another one I really liked.
Now this is one of the least viewed videos in the Rewind, but it plays massively into the storyline of events that transpire later on in the year.
So that Dream Chasers was another one of those songs that came out. Again, at this point, I'm like pretty much just in like SFJ Nation was like, I integrated myself into that fan base and kind of got sucked in and was there for a good long while before I started doing my own thing. But I remember Dream Chasers came out, and it was like, honestly, it was like a super uplifting song, and it got me wanting to really go out and push and do my own stuff. And that's kind of where I started, like really trying to do more stuff with rap and YouTube and reactions and stuff.
On February 4th, a relatively unknown artist / reaction channel at the time, known as Dwayne TV, would open the discussion towards the wrongdoings he noticed by Dax. On February 8th, I would drop Bad Habit, which was an indirect response to being screwed over by Dax. I promise I'm not trying to be narcissistic here, this just plays into the storyline, and Dax was a massive storyline amongst YouTube rap this year. Bad Habit was one of those things where only a handful of people knew who I was talking about, and this would be the first music diss of sorts towards Dax. On that exact same day, amidst all the Tory Lanez diss tracks flying around from every artist known to man, Dax decided to jump into the controversy and make I'm Not Joyner. Due to copyright issues, I can't play any of the music by Dax throughout this entire video, and honestly, he's teetering the line between YouTube rapper anyway. 2 days later, Tory would then find Dax and force him to apologize via social media.
Apologize, bro. Apologize, bro. Are you?
I remember this too. This was fucking crazy, and I was just like, I already at this point wasn't a huge Dax fan, but I was like Tory shouldn't have done that. Like, Tory asked for smoke, and so, along with a ton of other people, Dax gave him smoke. And so he goes to this club that Dax is performing at, and his guy like knocks him out, and then Dax takes off, and they chase him in this fucking excursion or Escalade or whatever the fuck they driving in, and get him and force him to apologize for a diss track that Tory Lanez indirectly asked for from everybody. Like, you want to smoke from everybody, and force him to apologize on fucking IG. Like, it was so fucking stupid. It was just, the whole situation was dumb to me.
You know what's going on. Apologize, my nigga. for the diss track? Apologize, nigga. I got you, bro. Apologize, nigga.
I got you,
Say
bro.
sorry, nigga. My bad for the diss track, sorry, G. Nigga. Sorry, G. All right, bet. I got you, G.
2 days after that, Screwface John would then drop I'm Not Dax and kind of blow the whole situation out of the water.
Let's talk about that four horseman shit. How you did a verse, heard ours and re-recorded your shit. Cause you laid your verse first, but it was whack as a bitch. Then on your second attempt, you try to throw out a diss.
This diss does a very good job at summing up the entire reason why so many people were irritated with Dax early in the year. Things kind of lay dormant with Dax after this. He took a small hiatus and kind of apologized to everybody, and we all just moved on. Fast forward to February 23rd, and unknown artist Vinjay would drop one of the most viral songs of the entire year for YouTube rappers, Mumble Rapper versus Lyricist. The song is currently sitting at 12 million views, and Vinjay had less than 1,000 subscribers when he dropped this, and he currently has over 230,000.
So I knew that Vinjay wasn't like super popular when he dropped this, but I didn't realize that he had less than 1,000. For those who don't know, in YouTube you need to have 1,000 subscribers to have your channel even looked at to be partnered with YouTube to get paid for your channel, you know. And so some channels out there have like tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but none of their content is original, so they never get partnered because they're just like lyric videos of that they made of other people's music and stuff like that, so they never get partnered with. But like myself, for example, like I do reactions and I also release my own music, you know, but I don't get paid for anything because I'm at less than 1,000 views, or less than 1,000 subscribers rather. So like as of right now, as far as YouTube, I do it all for free. I love doing it, even if I got up to 999 subscribers and never got that fourth digit and stayed there for the rest of my YouTube career. I'd be cool with that. Whatever, fine. As long as people are like checking out my music, you know. But it's crazy that he had less than 1,000 subscribers, dropped this video that now in less than a year has he got more than 1 million views on this video alone a month on average. And just blew up from it. Like, that's crazy to me that somebody's life could be changed like that, you know.
Moving forward into March, we have Chase with Blackout.
Crush the tablets on the table, hit a couple of snoops, and put the clip inside the gun, load it back, and then
Blackout is currently sitting at just under 7.5 million views. Blackout would garner mainstream attention and would eventually land Chase a genius interview. 1 week later, Quadeca would drop his highly anticipated album, Voice Memos would peak at number 2 on the hip-hop chart.
Voice Memos was my shit. I got a few of the songs on Voice Memos on my Spotify playlists and stuff. I love Quadeca. Like, I seen the video where it was the cosign and it was Twista, I think. And it was like Jid, someone else, and Quadeca. And I remember Twista just like shitting on Quadeca. Like, he's got kind of his own style, his own thing that he does. I love it. I think it's awesome. And clearly he charted at number 2. So it was super dope. I love the album.
Surpassing artists such as YBN Cordae, Khalid, Cardi B, and Offset, only falling short of Juice WRLD. To me, personally, this was the biggest YouTube rap moment of the entire year. On the exact same day, Quadeca would drop the music video for one of the songs from Voice Memos.
I love this one. Yeah. Like a movie. You live your life like a clip.
This song specifically would garner mainstream attention and grant Quadeca a genius interview nearly 2 weeks later.
Back on my motherfucking shit. I got a lot of new drip. Yeah, just take a look at my fit.
4 days later, I would put together arguably one of the biggest events of YouTube rap history this year, YouTube Cypher Volume 1.
This is YouTube Cypher, yeah, we coming at you. At the top, I got no bottom like a Fu Manchu. I had a blast with the track with a dozen dudes and 20,000 likes, and you'll get a part 2.
I honestly had no idea the response that this would receive, and it got so much love that a second one definitely had to happen, but that's for later on in the year. Fast forward to April when we find out that KSI and Randolph have a collaborative project coming out, and their new song Red Alert has reached number 1 on trending. 6 days later, they would drop this collaborative project and debut at number 1 on UK's hip-hop charts.
Crazy.
On April 20th, UpChurch would drop an album called Creaker 2, which also debuted at number 1.
Man, hey, can I just go back for just a second and say
6 days later,
rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle, man, rest in peace to the king, man. It's awesome that his victory lap charted so high, and you know, blessings out to their family, and I hope that this new year, this new decade brings them a lot of health, a lot of hope, and a lot of good things coming to them. So I just wanted to pause and take notice.
They would drop this collaborative project and debut at #1 on UK's hip-hop charts. On April 20th, UpChurch would drop an album called Creaker 2, which also debuted at #1 on the hip-hop charts in the US. I know UpChurch isn't really considered a YouTube rapper, but he was involved in enough YouTube rap scene this year to be considered on this. Moving on into May, we see Chase get his Genius interview for his song Blackout from months prior.
The day that I wrote Blackout, I actually had a dream about it.
On May 4th, KSI would drop the music video to his song Pull Up featuring J&E, which also got #1 trending on YouTube.
Pull up in the gold, I'm leading.
And now we fast forward
kind of
into
a fun
probably
song,
the
too.
craziest 3 weeks of the entire year. On May 18th, Scru would drop a diss track against UpChurch called Sunday School, which was a response to a video that UpChurch made about Scru, which was a response to a reaction that Scru made to UpChurch.
Just take them to church. Said a prayer, then I created this verse. Statements I'm finna be making to erase them from earth.
UpChurch would then respond with a diss track of his own the very next day.
So at this point, this is when I started to kind of pull away from like the whole SFJ scene, for no particular reason other than like it just felt like so much drama all the time. Not necessarily directly from Scru, but like just the whole environment just felt like super busy with back and forth, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just relax over here. Like, I'm gonna just pull myself out. I'm not saying anything bad was happening or anything like that. I'm not gonna speak on anything like that. It was just too much for me, and so I pulled out. I still listen to a little bit of Scru. I still check out some of his videos every once in a while. Just not. I'm not as heavily integrated in that whole thing. I was supposed to open up for Scru and Crypt in either Columbus or Dayton late last year, and it kept getting pushed, and then the venues pulled out, and they ended up not being able to play in Ohio. And I actually recently met the guy who was trying to help them set that up, and he explained it a little bit better for me. It was hard to, I guess it's always super hard to try and get new artists from out of state to play in Ohio, in central Ohio, which is really kind of lame. Like, we need to be more inclusive of newer artists, and that's something I want to try and fix, because I'm from central Ohio, and that's something I want to try and fix. But yeah, the whole thing just kind of fell apart, and yeah, it was a weird situation. But this here, like mid-May, is about the time when I started pulling out of SFJ and started doing my own thing, and kind of broadened my spectrum as far as like this community, like the YouTube rap community, between reactors and artists and writers and producers and stuff like that. H3, HMD, yeah, a bunch, Damon Gray, like a bunch of different, like, moving outward. But yeah,
They called Blue Jean Face.
Oh damn, I think you shot right through my MAGA hat. No, you're not that accurate, and I wasn't even wearing that.
Then the next day, Scru would respond with another diss track called Joe Dirt 2.
Well, this little star of mine, well, it's gonna shine. True space up the boots, cause it's go time. I'ma only tell your ass one more time. Leave from my heart gets dark as a coal mine.
And the very same day, UpChurch would respond with Joe Meteorite.
Goddamn, James Charles, what you want a round 2 for? Thought he had a plan to give that L back through a loophole.
Things would relatively calm down for about a week until Dax decided he was ready to respond to everybody that dissed him earlier in the year and sent them all this Instagram message here. While everybody was waiting for Dax to release this
this white dude who raps about how white dudes are super oppressed is garbage. I don't know his name, not gonna learn it. His bars are fucking awful, and he can shove his entire low rent aesthetic up his ass. Yeah, I remember this. I remember this when Tom McDonald like came out of nowhere too. Like I had never heard of Tom McDonald until this happened.
This track against the other YouTube rappers, Tom McDonald then dissed Mac Lethal over this tweet. On June 1st, Tom McDonald would drop Lethal Injection.
Who gave this old man Twitter? Who taught him how this works?
While everybody was waiting for Mac to respond, June 4th happened. To start off the day, Dax finally released his diss track against the other YouTube rappers called Whack Ass Rappers.
Get it screwed up, the fame I do not chase. Your career's in the crypt, you still in the same place. Making videos of Dax trying to do me like the feds, cause they bars low quality, mine is in high res.
That was literally the only part of that entire video that had anything to do with anybody at all. That whole freaking Whack Ass Rappers was a whack ass song, and that shit pissed me off. Like, I was honestly, again, not a huge Dax fan, but when I saw Whack Ass Rappers come out, I was actually kind of excited to hear a legitimate like diss track from Dax, and I was listening to it, and listening to it, and listening to it. And then the beat cut low, and he started naming people. I was like, okay, cool little name scheme, okay. And then nothing again. And I was like, I could have done that. Like, it was so dumb.
20 minutes after this was released, Dwayne TV dropped his diss against Dax called The One Above All.
You on tour with Tech and really think you dropping songs. Where you plug your diss, I would've thought you dropped a bomb. Then I seen you in red leggings and fanny pack. It looked like Thanos snapped into a soccer mom.
About an hour after Dax's release, Chase would then drop his diss track against Dax as well.
Why you calling out? You getting fucked by. You underestimated. Time to feel the wrath.
The very next day, Mac Lethal would then respond to Tom McDonald's original diss with Single White Female.
Hey yo, single white female, it's time to make the J burn. Where's your fucking balls, bitch? You acting like you Grey Worm.
The day after that, Scru would then respond to his own diss towards Dax called The Endgame.
The shit isn't over. Understand you probably did this for closure, but listen close and shit, you'll notice all it did was expose you.
The day after that, Tom McDonald would then reply with his second diss towards Mac Lethal called Mac Lethal Sucks.
Hi Dave, hi Dave, hi Dave, I'm not even trying.
The day after that, Hi-Rez responded to Dax's diss with his own diss called The Story of Kendra. The video has since been removed from YouTube, but it did happen on this day. During this week, there were also several other smaller YouTube rappers that dissed Dax as well, but at this point, all of the people that Dax sent a direct message to had dissed him back. Except me. And I did it a week later.
Welcome to Dax's eulogy. He practically passed the news to me. This is what happens when you get confused and shoot it in truancy.
The next day, Dax would respond with this on Instagram.
LOL, I would never wish death on anyone or even joke about it, especially not with all that's gone on in hip-hop and music. To put someone's body in a coffin and parade around, it is disgusting to me, even if it's a joke or for a video. And to anyone who supports that shit, you're a part of the problem with our fucking society that doesn't appreciate people while they're here, then wants to fucking cry when they're gone like you actually cared. Fuck you, LOL. LOL. Y'all think it's cool to laugh about shit like that. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. And I'm the corny one, right? This isn't me mad. This is me literally feeling sorry for you, all mediocrity involved, and thinking it's actually going to change something. All I'm going to do is pray for all of you. LOL, for real, for real. Amen.
And this was basically the end of this entire saga. After the whole Dax situation happened, everybody kind of settled down and people started to release their own music and do their own thing on their channels. Fadeka actually met KSI face-to-face for the first time since their beef at the end of 2018 and actually performed on stage with him and Randolph at a sold-out show in London. And then we fast forward on to the end of July, which a lot of people tell me is their favorite YouTube rap memory of the year, YouTube Cypher Volume 2.
Yeah. I love this shit. So I have both of, again, going back to Spotify, I have both the Cyphers on my Spotify playlist. I have a Spotify playlist called Heat, and it's just all these songs that I love singing along with. They're either like have tons of bars, or they're super fast and complex or whatever, and they're just a bunch of songs that I really like for their like message or for their ability or whatever. This and the other Cypher are both on them. And this is my favorite of the two, but they're both awesome, and I'm hoping to be on one of them in the future. We'll see. I'm working my ass off this year for it.
The scrap, he wanted gone up on the track because I murder the raps. Well, yo, Crypt homie, just know that I got your back, even if I gotta be a lyrical bully to Dax.
As we move on into August and September, things were relatively quiet on the YouTube rap scene. At least I don't have any notes written down, and I can't seem to find anything during that time period. Scru and I dropped a collaborative project called Crypt on August 31st, and that was a huge moment for both of us, but I don't necessarily know if it was like a big YouTube moment for everybody. Shout out to Scru, love you, bruh. Scru, Quadeca, and I all had a show that we headlined together in September, but that was more of a last minute thing. But as soon as October came around, it seemed like the UpChurch and Scru beef wasn't quite done yet. On October 8th, UpChurch uploaded his third diss track against Scru, Cargo Head. The next day, Scru would then respond with his own track, Victim Quotes.
For the third time, I'ma off this cat with his offer raps. You had a lot of rounds by my booty hole, so let's start with that.
And true to form, UpChurch would then respond the next day after that with Diss Smash.
I thought you was A1, you can't even flip a burger, mate. You say I took a stretch because I'm choking you from my home state.
2 days later, Scru would then respond with the 8th and final diss track of the entire situation, The Nail.
Look, listen class, I like to introduce Ryan. Please don't fight him, he just wants everyone to like him.
The feud would then seem to come to an end on a live stream on Roast and Review on October 16th. On October 24th, I would drop my first ever album, and it would peak at number 3 on the hip-hop charts, beating Kevin Gates, NBA Youngboy, NF, and Gucci Mane, falling just below G-Eazy and Post Malone. On November 22nd, KSI would make one of the biggest moves by any YouTube rapper by featuring Rick Ross, Lil Baby, and SX with his song Down Like That, which, of course, would reach number 1 on the UK charts.
Why you gotta go and let me down like that?
I gotta be honest, like, KSI been making some pretty heavy moves recently. I've seen some of his like non-music related videos, like some of his vlogs and stuff, and to me he seems really like introverted isn't the right word. Narcissistic maybe. He seems very like self-involved, but I can't say that he hasn't been making a ton of big moves. Like he does a lot of big shit, you know, which is really cool. You know, I think anybody who has the opportunity to work with somebody of that magnitude has, you know, stepped through a good door, I would think.
On November 25th, Adam Calhoun and Ryan UpChurch would drop a collaborative project called Hooligan, which would debut at the number 1 spot on the hip-hop charts. Although this is a scene I am completely unfamiliar with, just because I'm not familiar with it doesn't mean it wasn't huge. The Pokemon Cypher released on November 29th, and my homie
I love this Cypher. The only reason I seen this Cypher was because there we go. That was weird. The only reason I seen the Cypher was because I opened up YouTube on the homepage, and I just seen a thumbnail that said Pokemon, so, like something in the the Pokemon font, and it just happened to catch my eye. And I'd seen like a bunch of names down there, and I was like, Pokemon Cypher. You know what? I'm doing a Cypher here soon. That'd be kind of. Let me just check it out. It was pretty long, and I was watching it. I had no idea. I knew nobody, not a single person in this Cypher, except for 6 Seconds, who I had just seen in YouTube Cypher Volume 2. Had no clue he was in it. I was listening to it, and some of it was kind of like, some of it was pretty fire. And then I got to the end, and I heard Shizzy's tagline. He's like, God, or whatever, right? And I'm just like, is that? And I just see him come into frame. I'm like, oh, this is fire. So I love this Cypher. It was super long. It was like 20-minute long Cypher. Super long, but it was really cool. It was really dope.
On the hip-hop charts. Although this is a scene I am completely unfamiliar with, just because I'm not familiar with it doesn't mean it wasn't huge. The Pokemon Cypher released on November 29th, and my homie 6 Seconds is right there in the middle of it.
The guard is back, I'm looking at you, peons from the stairs. The stone's fire, bitch, I've been through eons with the flare. Know the vibes, ... Red can never rival that. Got HMO1, now my pocket's gigantic.
And I guess you could say one of the most recent things that's kind of causing some waves right now is the song Luke Gone put out called Death the Mumble Rap, featuring myself, Futuristic, and Mac Lethal.
I have a reaction for that. I know I'm super late, but I have a reaction to this coming up here soon. I got to go to the studio here in a couple hours for my own stuff coming out throughout this month. But I'm gonna come to this and do a reaction to it.
But there we have it, YouTube Rap Rewind 2019. I'm sure I missed a ton of stuff, and I'm sure you guys are gonna let me know in the comments. And there are a ton of honorable mentions. I mean, who could forget Cowboy Shaq? Like, No Life Shaq was a huge part of YouTube Rap this year. All of the reaction channels were huge. Like, there's so many things to fit inside of this, and I hate leaving out people. But if you guys had a favorite memory that I didn't put in here, feel free to comment down below. Feel free to comment some stuff that I missed. But again, looking back, I feel like YouTube Rap is making tremendous strides towards being taken seriously. I mean, if you just look at the elevation from 2017 to 2018 to 2019, I mean, like, there are some really good artists on YouTube now. So, I'm excited to see what's going to happen in 2020. I hope you guys are too. And yeah, just let me know. So until next time, guys, it has been your boy Crypt, and here is to a great 2020.
Hey man, hey, shouts out to Crypt. This was an awesome wrap up of the whole year, man. He really encapsulated like all the big stuff. Having paid close eyes to things, I can't personally think of anything major that happened that he would have missed. But I'm sure some people have picked up some stuff. Let me think. I can't really think of anything really like of note anyways. Like, I could think of some things he missed, but they weren't like necessarily of note. But yeah, this was really dope. I'm really excited to see what the year of 2020 comes along with. I've been seeing like a ton of people saying that they got big stuff coming up this year, like on Twitter and stuff, saying that this is going to be their year. They're going to take over the whatever. They're going to take over the industry with this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. So it sounds like there's a lot of big things. I got a lot of big things coming up this year. I would say my own personal goals for this year, as far as like rap music and stuff, is I want to start to average. I want to average 5 reactions a week. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 5 reactions a week on average. I want to make sure that I release a video, whether it's just a picture with music for some of the freestyles maybe, or some of the remixes or whatever, or a lyric video maybe. But I'm need to make sure that I drop a video every Saturday of this year. Every single Saturday. First week's a freestyle. Second week's gonna be a cover. My guitar's back here. I'm doing cover videos every second week of the month. Third week I'm doing a rap remix. So I'm taking a song that may already be a rap song, maybe an R&B song, could be a country song, rock, who knows what, and doing a rap remix of it. And then the fourth, I'm doing a collaboration piece. I'm keeping these secrets until like the day before what it is, just because I feel like the anticipation would be super cool. Obviously the freestyles are just gonna be freestyles, so like the first week is just kind of like a warm-up to the month. I will say that I'm a perfectionist, so I'm doing my best to try and have these videos uploaded by Friday night to post around lunchtime every Saturday, you know, and make sure that it is of good quality. At the very least, it's going to be good audio quality. Let me check. It's at least going to be, there we go. At least be good audio quality with high quality still picture at the absolute lowest. If not, a lyric video or like just a video of like me at my mic or something like that. If not, if I have the time and the ability, a nice production video. If I'm lucky, as we get through the year, the quality of everything will get better and better. And I have some big collabs coming up this year that I'm super excited about. So make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're up to date on every single Saturday coming up. You get to see those videos and reactions of stuff you want me to react to. Make sure you put down in the comments what songs you want me to do covers of, what songs you want me to remix, who you want me to collaborate with. You know, I do this music for you guys. You know, I'm having fun doing it. I already have fun doing it, but I'll have more fun if I'm doing what you want me to do. You know, if you want me to cover a certain song, or you want me to do a song with a certain artist, I will do my best to try and do a song with those people, given that I can afford it. But I think I will say that by the end, sometime this year, I will be doing a song with an artist from Strange Music. That is a thing that is going to be happening sometime this year. So hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, so you can know exactly when that drops. I'm super excited about it, and that's coming up in the future. So, but until next time, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
The way that you've been grinding your behind on my lucky blue jeans got me dreaming we were fucking on some J. Cole scene. With your body on me, as we generating heat and we creating a generation. Illuminate the dark, eliminate the shade that fester in the people's hearts. We demonstrate how great it is to keep it all straight. Compare a crooked arrow to the one that destined all.
Set up to give with my DNA on my mind when I tell you that you're too fine. Still you didn't hesitate to rotate your hips on me, that's so mine. The way you break it down, got a nigga like